Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to FrontPage, only on the AIM network, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. It's a pleasure to have you with us. You know, India's AI race is entering a very decisive new phase. From IT giants striking global partnerships and sovereign models in 22 languages to billion-dollar data center bets and fresh calls to stem a founder exodus, India is positioning itself as a market for AI and also, more emphatically, as a global power shaping its future. Here are the headlines. Indian IT titans pivot from survival to dominance as Infosys partners with Anthropic. TCS scales AI infrastructure with AMD, and global giants OpenAI and Anthropic make India their second largest growth hub. India took a decisive step toward sovereign AI at the India AI Impact Summit 2026 as IIT Bombay-led BharatGen unveiled Param-2 17B, a multilingual foundation model supporting 22 Indian languages and designed to power population-scale deployments. Adani Group will invest $100 billion to build renewable energy-powered AI-ready hyperscale data centers across India by 2035, creating a sovereign compute backbone expected to catalyze a $250 billion AI infrastructures ecosystem and secure domestic capacity for cloud, HPC, and large language models. And finally, amid reports that 100-plus Indian AI founders are relocating to the Bay Area for capital, compute, and customers, investor and former Infosys CFO Mr. Mohandas Pai has urged a 50,000 crore rupees AI and deep tech fund, and of course, a Bengaluru AI city, even as the government rolls out a 10,000 crore Fund of Funds 2.0 and deep tech policy reforms, framing a decisive moment for India's global AI competitiveness. The Nifty IT index has just staged a remarkably inconvenient recovery for those who spent the last year writing its obituary. Shares in Infosys are up 3%, and the death of the Indian developer has been postponed indefinitely. For 18 months, a particular story took hold. The idea that Bengaluru was essentially finished. The logic was that AI would, simply erase the junior coder, causing the Indian services model to fold under its own weight. However, the industry seems to have missed that very memo. Far from collapsing, these firms have spent the last few months absorbing the very technology that was supposed to end them. You know what? Everyone loves a flashy AI demonstration. The world of banks, telecom, and massive factories, that world doesn't care about cool anymore. It cares about compliance, precision, and governance. Infosys Topaz is now shaking hands with Claude. Dario Amodei, Anthropic's CEO, said it very, very clearly. There is a massive gap between a demo and a deployment. Infosys is the bridge. They aren't just actually billing hours anymore, you know. They are building agentic systems for the most regulated industries on earth, modernizing legacy junk, reducing migration costs, automating the boring stuff so they can actually build the big stuff. While you were, of course, arguing over ChatGPT prompts, Tata Consultancy Services went to the hardware store. They're actually partnering with AMD, building Helios rack-scale AI infrastructure. So let's just think of it as an AI factory, which actually can't just run the revolution on a laptop. We need compute. We need massive stacks of silicon. TCS knows that infrastructure. It needs integrators. They aren't just actually the software guys anymore. They are the architects of the physical AI grid. Anthropic just set up shop at Embassy Golf Links in Bengaluru. Why? Well, because India is their second largest market. India's usage is surging. Revenue run rate has doubled. 6% of all Claude conversations globally start right here. And they aren't just asking for recipes. Half of that usage is actually building software and modernizing systems. Meanwhile, Sam Altman and OpenAI are heading to New Delhi on February 19th. One lab is hugging the bureaucrats in Delhi, while the other is hugging the builders in Bengaluru. The frontier labs aren't just visiting, as clearly they're moving in. Here is, of course, the big reveal you won't see on legacy news. AIM has learned that Anthropic is eyeing a partnership with Reliance Industries. If Infosys was a spark, this is a wildfire. Imagine Claude integrated into the Jio ecosystem. Over 1 billion users. Jio Bharat phones bringing AI to the palm of every Indian. Reliance is building a data center in Jamnagar. And well, that could actually likely power a small country. Distribution meets intelligence. The scale is quite terrifying. Let's be real. The old people pyramid is quite well deceased. The era of hiring 50,000 freshers to sit in a cubicle is done and dusted. Yes, AI reduces inefficiency. Yes, definitely it makes coding cheaper. But remember Jevons paradox, when something gets cheaper, we use more of it. Low code didn't kill developers. Cloud didn't kill IT. They just actually moved the goalposts. We are, of course, now moving from effort-based revenue to outcome pricing. What we do is that we don't just pay for the time, we actually pay for the result. Indian IT is moving up the food chain. They aren't workers anymore, they are actually the orchestrators. And here, of course, as always, is the front page take. The panic phase, it's over, thankfully. The execution phase, it's just beginning. Indian IT isn't going anywhere, so well, that's a relief. It's just getting a massive hardware and software upgrade. The narrative war is shifting from will they survive to who will they acquire? Nice. The giants are awake and they brought their agents with them. What do you think? Is the pivotal real or just a very expensive rebranding? Please do let us know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and always stay sharp. And always remember, think AI, think AIM. Day 2 of the India AI Impact Summit in New Delhi has been a marquee mix of big ideas and high energy, even if the organization hasn't, well, always kept pace with the enthusiasm on the ground. While sessions on everything from responsible AI to global collaboration have drawn crowds and expert debate, social media has lit up with attendees poking fun at long queues and logistics glitches from day one that organizers, thankfully, have since had to address. Despite those early hiccups, the momentum hasn't slowed down, and the spotlight today is firmly on innovation and impact. At the India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi, IIT Bombay-led BharatGen is unveiling Param-2 17B, a multilingual foundation model supporting 22 Indian languages designed for reasoning, mathematics, and coding, and trained on India-centric datasets. Param-2 is positioned as a base model that startups, enterprises, researchers, and government systems can adapt for real-world deployments. So basically, from citizen services to healthcare access, education, financial workflows, and regulatory systems. So instead of one AI product, BharatGen is aiming to create infrastructure intelligence, a foundation layer others can build on. That distinction really does matter, because India's AI advantage won't come from a single breakthrough app. It'll actually come from population scale deployment across languages, sectors, and public systems. Param-2 uses a mixture of experts, MOE, which is meaning only the relevant portions of the model activate per query instead of running the full network each time. The result? Lower compute costs and improved efficiency. In India, efficiency is not an optimization. It actually determines whether AI can be deployed at scale in public systems, regional languages, and cost-sensitive environments. BharatGen also plans smaller model variants, signaling a roadmap that includes edge-friendly deployments, critical for voice-first and low-bandwidth environments. In AIM Network Conversations, BharatGen CEO Rishi Bal highlighted a constraint rarely discussed: The shortage of high-quality Indian language training data. Unlike English, many Indian languages lack the rich digital corpora, especially in technical and domain-specific contexts. To address this, BharatGen is building pipelines such as Bharat Data Sagar, working with publishers, cultural digitization groups, and of course, radio archives to create usable data sets. The work is unglamorous, but you know what? Very essential. Scanning archives, curating language content, filtering bias, and building quality classifiers. Cultural nuance remains an open challenge. Idioms, dialect shifts, and region-specific meaning are still evolving problems, as we all know. And BharatGen acknowledges this and is ongoing work, not a solved problem as yet. BharatGen reports training at scale using trillions of tokens and petabytes of data, placing it in serious infrastructure territory. But more importantly, the initiative promises open ecosystem access, model releases and checkpoints, benchmarks and datasets, research papers, and training methodologies. Hugging face availability. This approach lowers barriers for Indian developers to fine-tune and deploy AI instead of starting from scratch. Again, I'm apologizing for tripping on methodology. Param-2, back to the story, is one piece of a broader ecosystem push. At the summit, this is what happened. Sarvam AI is expected to launch India's first fully indigenous LLM. The 10,372 crore India AI mission has already approved 12 AI model builders. GPU capacity could expand 2 to 3 times from the current levels. Data center investments and compute expansion are of course under discussion. The summit features 840 plus exhibitors and hundreds of technical sessions. This signals a strategic shift, and this is what that shift is. India is not chasing a headline. No, those times are gone. It is actually building data, compute, models, and deployment pathways all together. Global AI systems are powerful, as we know, but often optimized for global contexts. Indian users frequently encounter answers that are, well, technically correct, yet not immediately usable within local systems, languages, or for that matter, regulatory realities. That very gap determines whether AI remains impressive or, for that matter, becomes infrastructure only. India's push is not about rejecting global AI, no. It is actually about ensuring AI works at the ground level. Language, governance, workflows, and real-world constraints. The summit also, of course, highlighted a larger risk. Union Minister Jitin Prasad warned that AI-generated misinformation and deepfakes could undermine democratic systems, especially in a country with frequent elections. AI now has the capacity to fabricate audio, video, and documents at scale, challenging public trust in media, institutions, and electoral processes. As India builds sovereign AI, safety, provenance, and of course accountability become foundational, and that, my friends, no longer remains optional. AIM senior editor Pallavi Chakravarti also spoke with Professor Ganesh Ramakrishnan at the summit to decode BharatGen's roadmap and policy signals shaping India's AI future. And now, of course, the front page take. Param-2 is a signal that India wants control over its intelligence infrastructure. For that very ambition to succeed, 3 things must align, and here they are. Capability that works across languages and domains. Efficiency that enables mass deployment, trust, safeguards that probably protect institutions and democracy. So if India gets all 3 right, this could become a UPI scale moment for intelligence infrastructure. If it only solves the technology but not the deployment of trust, the impact will remain limited. India has the talent, we know that. India has the demand, we definitely know that. And now, of course, it is building the very foundation. Please do let us know what you think in the comments below. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM. Just when India unveiled its first sovereign AI model, a much bigger move has landed. The Adani Group will invest $100 billion to build India's sovereign AI infrastructure by 2035. Adani Group plans to build renewable energy-powered AI-ready hyperscale data centers across India. The program includes, here's the list, hyperscale AI data centers, sovereign cloud infrastructure, high-performance compute capacity, domestic power and electrical infrastructure, server and thermal management manufacturing. The initiative could trigger $150 billion in additional investments, creating a $250 billion AI infrastructure ecosystem. Wow, that's encouraging. AI, as we all know, runs on compute. Compute runs on electricity. Electricity, then in turn, runs on infrastructure. Countries that control this stack control the future of AI. We've said this again and again on FrontPage. Adani's plan connects energy generation, power transmission, and AI compute into one integrated system. Adani Connex's data center platform will scale from 2 gigawatts to 5 gigawatt capacity to support high-density AI workloads. The key developments which are included are this: a gigawatt-scale AI data center campus in Visakhapatnam with Google, new campuses planned in Noida, Microsoft Link facilities in Hyderabad and Pune, a second high-performance AI data center supporting Flipkart. Well, these facilities will support large-scale AI workloads with liquid cooling and high-efficiency power systems. Energy supply will be anchored by Adani Green Energy's, 30 gigawatt Khavda renewable project with over 10 gigawatt already in operation. An additional $55 billion will expand renewable capacity and battery storage to ensure round-the-clock power. Reliable energy is essential for AI infrastructure at scale, and this program includes this list. Reserved compute capacity for Indian LLMs and research, very important. Support for national data and cloud initiatives, very, very important as well. Domestic manufacturing of critical infrastructure components, GPU access for startups and research institutions, academic partnerships for AI infrastructure talent. This directly addresses India's biggest bottlenecks, which are compute access, energy reliability, and hardware dependency. This announcement comes as India accelerates its AI push with sovereign models, compute expansion, and of course, policy support. How can we forget that? While models make headlines, for sure, infrastructure determines the scale. India is positioning itself to build and host intelligence infrastructure, not just consume it anymore. And here, of course, as always, is the front page take. India's AI future will depend on infrastructure as much as it will on innovation. This $100 billion investment signals a shift from building AI tools to building the power systems that run them. If executed well, it could make India a global hub for AI infrastructure. There is no doubt in that. But if it is delayed, the opportunity will move elsewhere. India has the talent. Now, of course, it is building the compute framework. Let us know what you think in the comments below. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM. Years. Along with the creation of a dedicated AI city in Bengaluru, arguing that India risks losing its next generation of AI founders to the San Francisco Bay Area. This comes at a moment when over 100 Indian AI startup founders are reportedly moving to the United States. And let's not be mistaken, they're not doing that for the lifestyle, but actually for the capital, the customers, and the compute. Many see this as a defining moment for India's AI ambitions, where talent alone is no longer enough. And joining us today, and it is a true honor, is the gentleman himself, Mr. Mohandas Pai. He's, of course, a brilliant, prominent investor, policy voice, and the former CFO of Infosys. Truly, sir, it is an honor to have you with us on Front Page. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mohandas Pai. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. Good to be here.
Wonderful. So let's start things off, sir. The first thing that I'd like to understand from you is, why is this the moment for such a bold call?
Well, the time has come because now we are seeing that AI has got a greater amount of intelligence, is able to do much more of work with high fidelity and high quality than ever before. And the release of Claude and the release of the latest version of ChatGPT, DeepSeek, etc., has really brought the industry to maturity, where you can see real results. And the fact that they can do a lot of work human beings can do, and they will only improve, puts it to the heart of the disruption that's happening globally. And everybody around the world is getting clear that AI is going to be the great disruptor. It's going to improve the quality of our lives, or maybe impact us badly, impact a lot of jobs. And the country which has the top AI is the country that's going to dominate the planet.
Sure.
And certainly, the US domination of AI is getting concerned around the world, because they're all AI monopolies, and we don't have enough competition from the world except for China. And China has got a trust problem. So I think everybody is waking up, and everybody is saying we got to get on the bandwagon, protect ourselves, try to do many things ourselves to be part of this great wave so that we don't lose out. And India is doing the same in a very big way in that AI summit. But the AI summit has to be backed with money on the ground.
Sure.
I mean, a summit is a mela where everybody comes, says nice things, and they showcase, do everything, but they have to go back to reality in 3 or 4 days. And the reality is that for innovation, there is not enough money in this country. People are going around trying to raise money, and it's very difficult. There's not enough AI adoption by government or others. There's a lot of talk, but not enough adoption.
Right.
The PLI scheme has been very good. The small AI fund that they have of 11,500 odd crores is peanuts, and too small for India, needs to be escalated, considering what China is spending, the US is spending. A lot of public money has to go into R&D to make India a good AI player around the world. And these are the bigger issues that government has to address. And I hope they address it. To give you a comparison, today, government of India and state government spend about 10 lakh crores on subsidies. 10 lakh crores.
That's huge.
Government of India, 4 lakh crores. How much do they spend on innovation?
Right.
Just check up and see. How much they spend on AI? 2,000, 3,000 crores. That's why I said we need a 50,000 crore fund to be invested over the next 3 years into AI and deep tech companies, so that they can scale up, they can grow. Because we have a lot of AI and deep tech companies starting up, but they lack capital, and they cannot grow without capital, because this is a capital game. You have to train your models, you have to develop your models, you have to invest in people, you have to invest in marketing at a time when competition is growing so swiftly. Just now, Anthropic raised $30 billion.
Oh, yes.
Right? And what can you, do you have any company here which has raised $1 billion to compete? 30 billion. And ChatGPT is going to raise some 30, 40, 50 billion, right? They're spending $2 trillion this year, next year on building hypercloud. How much is India building? It's not that India cannot do it. India should do it. Public money is required. Government of India next year is spending 53 lakh crores. State governments will spend possibly 65, 70 lakh crores. So 120 lakh crores is being spent. Why can't we spend 40, 50,000 crores everywhere? My state of Karnataka, which is a leading IT power, is spending peanuts. They don't even have a good investment strategy for AI. Now, Chandrababu Naidu says, I'm going to have 15 billion from Google. I'm creating 175 billion opportunity. Well, he's doing the talk. He has to put money behind this. I hope he puts behind this. But Bangalore is the right place for this AI wave to take off. And Bangalore requires investment. The state government has to put his act together, because Bangalore is the largest digital power, largest number of people trained in AI. And we need to be a center of innovation. And the Karnataka government is quietly, sleeping and taking us backwards.
Before, sir, lots of very incisive points that you've just started off the entire conversation with, and you've gotten off to a wonderful start as always. But before I get into the founder exodus bit, I have two very quick questions for you. You mentioned the 50,000 crore, fund that you have proposed and you have talked about. This is not the first time that you're doing it. You also, in one of our marquee events, the AIM marquee event, Cypher 2024, you had mentioned it at that time as well. Yesterday alone, there was an announcement of 10,000 crore rupees as far as the deep tech funds is concerned. What are your thoughts on that? That is question one. And number two, what are your thoughts on the recent Anthropic and Infosys collaboration? Because those were the two things that you talked about.
Look, you must understand the government this year, 25-26, allocated 20,000 crores for the RDF fund, right? last year, Anushashan something, they took back 17,000 crores because they're not able to spend. They got 33,000 crores left. I don't know whether they're going to spend it by 31st. Next year, again, they allocate 20,000 crores. It's not the allocation of money alone. They will allocate and talk about it, but how do you execute? Now that Rashtriya Andolan has got a committee full of secretaries. They don't have enough private sector people. Only now they're having Chris Gopalkrishnan do some work. I met the secretary DST and suggested to him some things to done, how we can quickly move. Because money has to be invested, money has to be done, etc. And you cannot say this public money, we have to take care of process and everything. Yes, all that is possible. It can be done fast by getting people from the private sector, sit on investment committees who know their job, and not by government secretaries who change every 2 or 3 years, who need to be brought up to date and to say only process. Because we are facing immense competition. The world is moving at a frenetic pace. And you got to move along with that. And I think it's very important to understand what needs to be done. And I think to move very, very fast. And there's no time to waste, because every 2 weeks, every month, there's going to be a new innovation come. And what are we doing? I think today we have the Infosys Investors Day, where Nandan Nilekani spoke about how the IT service company Infosys is going to face it up. And it's very positive, right?
Yes.
And you know, sadly in this country, we see some brokers and operators in Bombay trying to browbeat. Some of them talk, oh, you're dead from tomorrow, everything is gone, you'll all die, 6% of GDP, without knowing what it is. This kind of rubbish is going around everywhere, where people who think they know much more than the IT service companies, who work with the clients every single day.
And sir, for 30 years, there's a huge legacy.
They use all these tools and everything every single day. They work with everybody. Now, the Anthropic Infosys partnership is a very significant part of the entire thing. Because remember, you have all these great AI companies who create products. How are enterprises going to use them? Enterprises don't have the capacity or the capability to use them at the speed that they want. So they have to go to the IT service companies. IT service companies to start running the projects, doing the work for them, and making them more IT savvy, more AI savvy and AI compliant, because they're the intermediary. And that's why you see it happening now, like it happened for SAP earlier, Oracle earlier, and Microsoft earlier. But these companies are coming, signing up with Anthropic, they'll work together. And Infy and Anthropic are going to work in the regulated industry, starting with telecom, where there's a huge expense and there's a compression of revenue, and where there's so much of complexity, and they hope to use AI to do very well and dominate the market. I think it's a very good agree. That's the way forward. These are product companies. Products have to be used by global enterprises, and global enterprise, they're hesitant. They don't have the capability largely. And these companies are going to help them along with their GCCs in India. And if they do all that, because these are AI is not something that you buy a subscription, put it inside and say work. It doesn't work. You got to learn how to use it, and you got to be careful about risk, and you got to make sure it doesn't hallucinate, destroy your network, take away all the data and all kind of stuff. You got to build in risk, safety, and all that. And these companies will end up doing all that.
So, of course, the fact that you'd mentioned Anthropic and Infosys collaboration, and very quickly, just for the viewers, there is a jump as far as the Infosys shares is concerned. Now, of course, I'm coming back to the founder exodus bit, as I'd mentioned. You said this, sir, that India risks losing its AI builders to the United States. Over 100 Indian AI founders are either moving or preparing to move to the Bay Areas. So is this, in your view, a temporary capital migration, or is this a structural failure in India's AI ecosystem? That's the first one, and then, of course, I'll come with the second one as well.
The structural failure, because we knew AI is happening, we knew everything is happening, we know deep tech is happening. Minister Piyush Goyal made that famous remark 6 to 8 months back. There is no deep tech happening in India. Everything is going for B2C, blah, blah, blah. Then I had to stand up and say, Minister, a lot of things are happening. You don't have capital. I went and met him, requested him to come to Bangalore. We put up some 35 deep tech companies in front of him, and he was very happy. And everybody said, we are the two things we want: access to markets in India, because people are hesitant to buy, and public sector others and government research institutes should work on that, and capital. We don't have capital. So all these smart AI companies were going, for example, we had a company called Smallest.ai. Smallest.ai brought in the best voice to text and text to voice software in the world, which runs the fastest compared to anybody and beaten all benchmarks.
We had, by the way, interviewed the founder as well, so it was quite an
Yeah.
enthralling conversation.
Yeah, they went to SF4. They're doing very well. They're raising capital. Capitalists are after them. There's unlimited amount of capital. They're only limited by the speed of innovation and release. Now, if they're in India, they'll be stuck.
Fair.
I mean, we funded them, and they went away. We are going to make good money off them, and we still hold the stock and all the nice stuff.
Sure.
But you need hundreds of these players. Now, you want to create an LLM. All these guys are yelling, India doesn't have LLM, India doesn't have LLM. What government is yelling, we don't have LLM. But you need money, man.
Correct.
You need new capacity. You need hypercloud. Who is giving all that hypercloud? Who is giving that? All these companies were funded for a long period of time by NGO, by philanthropy money. Infi gave 5 million, I think, from press reports, I don't know, to OpenAI when they were an NGO. OpenAI started to bring AI to everybody, transform society, all the nice stuff. They're like typical Americans that turned out to be deep capitalistic oppressors who are now made it into a valuation game and converted a not-for-profit into a profit, hoping to make a lot of money for themselves. And Infi gave money. Now they're abusing Infi and said, oh, you laid off. Sika is the greatest creation since humanity happened. He told everybody, because at that time, nobody knew what is going to happen. Even 3 years back, nobody knew what is going to happen, right? ChatGPT and all came 2 years ago. And to have this foresight or the hindsight or whatever it is for all these operators in the market come and make the stupid remark is remarkable. But all these shows, we need a lot of money to invest in deep tech to keep our entrepreneurs.
Sure.
We need multiple rounds of financing. The private sector cannot do it. We need government money. Government money is what creates innovation everywhere in the world. I mean, ChatGPT was created by philanthropy money. Right?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of research grants in America which help all. Look at China. China says we'll spend $150 billion 7 years back. Last year they spent $135 billion. I think 35, 39 or 40. But the governments understand strategy in China. They know what is going to change. They want to dominate the world. Our Indian government to do that. They created 11,500 crore fund to disburse and make people hang about. They give some small pittance. They must give 1,000 crores each to some 5 companies and say, go do it. Get their act together. Now, Sarvam has done reasonably well. They released something.
Yes, they did. BharatGen also has.
They got to be bigger. They got to be bigger. They got to be more global. They're helping Indian languages and all that. That's very good. They'll have a big thing. Now, government must start using that in its own work. Ask research institute to use that and create a payment system where all universities can access that and use it in their work, so that it becomes useful and becomes bigger and bigger. In Bangalore, Umakant Soni and others are creating an AI city.
Yep.
And Umakant Soni and Subhashis have tied up with Shirish for Eco World to create a 500,000 square feet AI city in a private place where they're going to get thousands of AI innovators, the big labs, NVIDIA and others, to start working on AI and fund all these AI startups. They should have done it 2 years ago. I spoke to H.D. Kumaraswamy, minister. I spoke to Amitabh Kant, met everybody in Delhi to say we should have an AI city in Bangalore. They have the AI foundry in IIC and they work in the HMT factory. I said, give some part of the land of HMT, create an AI city there, because HMT land is lying not under use. And we can build an AI city there where you can simulate how people work in a city, and we can take the lead. He went round and round and round. Kumaraswamy told me he'll do it and things work. Then he's saying nobody in government listens to me. Officials don't listen to me. What do? We met Ashwini Vaishnav. We met everybody. They don't have the big picture. They must have the big picture.
But
and we are a big country. We are a $4 trillion country, for God's sake. We're not a teeny-weeny small country somewhere. And we are a leading digital power. We've got to put money behind that. And this money is very small. It's a very small amount of money.
I just,
10,000 crores a year is a very small amount of money. If you don't do that, then everybody joins and abusers are saying, you don't know AI, you're all coolies, you do this work.
Wait. I just at this point want to ask you that with the India AI Impact Summit, which has been announced yesterday, it was inaugurated by the Prime Minister himself. It's a 5-day AI carnival. There is going to be a lot of announcements. So 2 things I want to ask you. One is the fact that you just mentioned the fact, let's take smallest AI as a use case. You funded them, they did brilliantly well. They're continuing to do brilliantly well. Would something like this as an India AI Impact Summit assist in reducing that exodus of sorts as far as the founders are concerned?
Look, my friend, put money on the table, man.
Okay.
Because this 5-day carnival, 2025 prime ministers will come, will showcase, will say nice things. Most of them will talk about AI for society, responsible AI without knowing what it is. They'll say we must have every village kid do AI and all that, like the UNESCO report. That's fantastic. Try doing it for 1.4 billion people. So look, AI is operation at the top of the pyramid. If the top is not very good, the bottom will not improve. You'll become a colony of Anthropic and others. We got to create our own models. We got to put money to work, right? Others, look at the money we'll be spending to a subscription to buy all this. As it is for Claude, we are the second largest number of users. Of course, most Indians use the free version, but they start paying. I find so many startups paying money. And we have money is going out. Why can't we create our own model? It's not rocket science anymore. It can be done. We need GPUs, we need capacity, we need funding, and try getting that funding.
There is thrust on that as well. The government is pushing as far as GPUs is concerned, sir. There is thrust on that.
Look. GPU is one part. Give them capital, man.
Right.
Give them. Look, say I will have 8 companies, 5 companies. Give them 1,000 crore each. Do it. What does it matter? And give
is there
GPU.
A compliance issue? Is there fear? Is there anxiety?
What is the compliance issue? Like R&D, you're giving money to DRDO, you're giving money to CSR. What have you got out of CSR for the last 50 years? Why can't you do this? See, if a government doesn't trust his own entrepreneurs, his own young people, what are they trying to do?
That's what I'm asking you. Is that the gap?
For example, the PLI scheme, they're giving 70,000 crores, which is very good. Get industry. We got it now because of PLI. We got a chip industry, even though it is doing 22 nm, it will improve. We got a Micron coming here, and we got the electronic assembly industry, and Apple is coming here because you put money on the table.
Sure.
Put money on the table. Now, can you say all that money is a waste? No. You put money on the table, these companies will create great products. What is the risk? What are the big things about this?
You feel, sir, that there is definitely, I mean, this is established that money needs to be on the table. That's part one. But part two is that you just mentioned that there is the government not trusting the young entrepreneurs. Do you feel that is the central problem? That is the issue?
No, that is part of the problem because, and see, you can't give driblets. I'll give 5,000 GPUs, 2,000. You don't give driblets, man. Remove all constraints for 7, 8 companies. If 3 or 4 succeed and do well, you record all your money. You created an AI, LLM. You created a big industry. And that will take off by itself. Once you put 1,000 crores in each company, others will come and put money. They'll raise money. Give me a break.
Okay.
I mean, these peanuts for the country of India's size, India's ambition, these peanuts. As it is, they spend so much of money doing so many things. Why can't you put money here? And you give them driblets. Feed them driblets.
So that needs to stop. There need not be any driblets. And of course, we are not going to give you a break because you're nice and warmed up right now, Mohandas sir, which brings me to this point, which is the 50,000 crore bit. I want to come back to that because I want to ask you this. There have been certain changes which have been made as far as the policy is concerned. The timeline has been doubled. It's gone from 10 years to 20 years. The cap has gone up to 300 crores. So the government seems to be realizing the fact that deep tech is definitely something which cannot be correlated to something like, let's say, the convenience economy, like let's say a food delivery.
I've eaten the money they borrowed from, they took the goods from China and without evidence. Right. And they destroyed many of these companies, took the money back. Is that the way to treat your own people? And there's no appeal. I mean, Hero Electric is going round and round, appealing about everything because they've been, shot in the face by government doing wrong things.
So there is still a yawning gap, according to you, Mohandas sir, that there is.
Yes.
There is still. Do you feel that at the end of the day, we are still somebody who are admirers of the West and are not understanding, cherishing, embracing our own talent, for that matter, our own ecosystem, and we still look outward when actually we need to start looking inward? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I would not like to berate India and ourselves. I don't want to say we worship at the foot of the white man and all that. That's too much of me. I don't want to make the statement.
Okay.
I get a self-respect. What I will say very clearly is, we are a country which is not taking the giant leap that is required to place India firmly as a global player in AI.
Fair.
We have to move fast. We have to trust our entrepreneurs, trust our people. I mean, get 5, 6 of us to sit on the investment committee. We'll advise you, tell you where to invest, what to invest. You don't have the expertise in government. The secretaries don't have the expertise. I mean, of course, the head of DST has got expertise. Some of them do. But you want a bureaucracy to run it. You want to do it. A bureaucrat does 100 things. This is not important for them. You get people for whom this is important, get it done, invest, and create a virtuous cycle. Create some 5 funds, invest in 10 funds, do it fast.
So the right people in the right positions with the right experience is what is needed.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and that's there in the private sector. Many of us are there who have invested personal money, who are done now. For example, in 2015, with iSpirit and many others, we went to government and got the 10,000 crore startup fund done. We got it done. Jay Sinha approved, went to Prime Minister, he approved it. We had the startup fund. Then the startup fund, SIDBI, we suggested SIDBI. SIDBI became the manager. Then SIDBI said, we don't have expertise. We formed an investment committee. We started an investment committee. We created the norm. In 1 year, we gave capital to about 45 funds. 1 year, and we started the virtuous cycle, which has created so many fund managers, so many funds.
For the viewers,
after 2 years, listen to me. After 2 years, we are kicked out. We are replaced. We are kicked out. They put their own people there, and then it slowed down. I mean, you got to move fast, man. What are you trying to do?
I'm agreeing. I just wanted very quickly, sir, if you could, before I move on to the AI Bengaluru, the Bengaluru AI city, which I know is very close to your heart. I wanted to ask you this. If you, for example, were in a position today as a policy maker, what is it that you would do as far as the 50,000 crore deep tech AI fund that you've proposed, and the fact that 10,000 crores was announced yesterday? How would you use that 10,000 crores allocation wise, policy wise? What are the things that you immediately propose and maybe will then escalate the funds as we move forward?
Well, what I'll do is, first I'll form a good investment committee with people from the private sector. I know the people who can be there. I will also sit on it. Okay? I have the expertise, the knowledge. I'll sit on it. I'll get people who can sit on it. Then I'll invite many of the funds who have deep tech investments in the fund to come and pitch to us. And for the next fund, or if there's a fund they're still going to invest in the deep tech fund, I'll ask them to come and pitch to us for capital.
Okay.
Then I'll give them money, not more than 50% of the next round for them, and say that whatever money we give for deep tech, they should invest to at least 2 times the money into deep tech companies as defined by us. We define 5, 6, 10 areas of deep tech, and all those companies for the further round, please do it. So we give them and we create. We maybe in 15 days, 20 days, or 1 month, 2 months, we identify 10 funds and we give them capital. Maybe we give them 5,000 crores. Okay. 5,000 crores, 3,000 crores for capital. We can easily do that. Okay.
Right.
Second, I will invite the top 100 deep tech companies of this country, and we have a list. We know all of them, to come and pitch to us whether they're raising capital for the next round, what is the business, and tell them that, look, okay, we'll invest in 25, 50 of you. We'll give you money, not more than 50% next round, and ask the existing investors to put in the money and close the round. I can easily sanction 5,000 crores in 2 or 3 months to all of them. Okay? I'll do that. Next thing what I'll do is, I will work on creating hypercloud capacity. I will call all the Indian hypercloud people, not Google and all the foreigners will take our data away, and tell them, Control X, Yolta and all that. Tell them we want to invest capital in you, and you must expand, and tell them set up hypercloud facilities, and we'll put 1,000, 2,000 crores in each one of them, maybe work with NIF. So I will do that. Okay? So that will take care of hypercloud capacity. Then what I will do is, I will make sure that identify 5 areas. For example, India has got that super jet. The jet is that fifth generation, 6th generation jet consortium. I'll call the consortium and say, look, guys, I'm going to put so much of money behind you. Let us accelerate. Talk to government to accelerate and commit money to them. Then I'll call a consortium of people along with government who are trying to create a jet engine or engines and fund them. I'll ask government to create a consortium to fund 20,000 HP, 40,000 HP motors for shipping.
Would you encourage collaborations for the...
I will fund Indian companies and leave it to them to get collaboration so long as they manufacture in India and create the skills in India.
Okay.
And I will do all this. Okay. And then what I will do is, I'll pick up 50 institutions, who are doing very good STEM work, including private sector, because I won't discount the private sector, and give them a 100 crore grant over the next 3 years to get PhD scholars, set up labs, etc., and fund the human capital to come, which will take 3 to 4 years.
Right.
I do all this and commit 20,000 crores in 6 to 8 months. Disbursement may take time, but I'll do this. I'll create excitement, and I will create a mechanism where maybe 100 players will come and start doing greater innovation and change and transform it. That's the way to do it.
I just have to say this, Mohandas sir, you've definitely created excitement as far as the front page crew is concerned, because we really hope all of this happens. But before, very quickly, I move on to the AI city in Bengaluru, who would be accompanying you on that committee? You, of course, are there, but who else?
No, I'll be there. I will get Chris Gopal Krishnan, and maybe he should be the chair, because he's a great entrepreneur. He's put a lot of his personal money into innovation. I'll get Sharad Sharma. I'll get Sanjeev Bikhchandani. And get Prashant Prakash or somebody else, or 2 or 3 other people, and 2 or 3 younger people on that.
Nice.
Who don't have vested interest, or all fund managers. And I will say that in case you have an interest in a fund, you can still apply, but you must recuse yourself from the decision making. Because many of these people run funds and they don't want to be part of an investment committee where their funds are discriminated against. I face the discrimination for the funds where I invested with other people. I don't want these people to have that kind of stuff. So we can do that, because these are all publicly funded. And I'm giving 50% next round. Others are putting 50%. What's the bloody risk?
Fair enough.
20%. Next round for those companies, I'm giving 50%. 50% others are putting. Others are also smart people.
Correct. No, makes sense, sir. Makes sense. And I really wish that this plan that has been so well thought out and is very incisive, the right people are listening and are going to hopefully encourage you to maybe form that committee really soon. Now, of course, coming to the proposal.
The problem with this AI fund and everything else is too Delhi-centric.
Right.
We are recommending to government that RIDF should be based in Bangalore. It will work very well in Bangalore. They'll get only people from Delhi to come. They'll only get that. They will not look outside. You understand? It will be captured by people in Delhi.
Right.
And even this, that's why the SIDBI fund was in Bombay, and we all sat on the committee. Correct. Now the AI fund is being handled by bureaucrats in Delhi. Everything is Delhi-centric. Why can't you put it in Bangalore? Bangalore is where the AI is happening.
I agree, sir. I agree.
And open it up, have private sector people on that committee. How's it in the IIC?
And make it transparent, to be honest. I think that's exactly what you've been hammering on about for so long. And that's exactly what your plan also states. But while, of course, Delhi right now is busy with the AI Impact Summit, sir.
No, Delhi should do this, all this summit, gimmick and all that they should do, because they like all this. They're all global event. They must get all the prime minister president all around the world, make those wonderful speeches, have the stall, showcase, and say, Mera Bharat Mahan, and build Bharat's brand. Right. When it comes to funding and disbursement, come to Bangalore. We know how to make it work.
But Namma Bengaluru, sir, I mean, please, if we can genuinely talk about the AI city, I think it's fascinating what you have proposed. When you say the AI city, as you had mentioned a little while back, what does that actually mean in practice, sir? Does it mean, let's say, compute clusters, public data sets?
AI city, first phase, the 500,000 square foot building, which is expected to open this week or the next week in Bangalore, near Bellandur, headed by Umakant Soni, Subhashish Banerjee, and Shirish.
Right.
Shirish, Krupender Reddy, who runs EcoWorld. Okay. That place is ready. Interiors have happened. The board is going up.
Okay.
In that place, there will be labs by NVIDIA and all R&D labs and others by multiple players. I can't give the number. So they'll all be set up there.
Okay.
And then
could you give some sort of timeline, sir?
Hang on.
Right.
They will get access to GPUs to multiple players.
Okay.
And then we will have a very high quantum of bandwidth for all these companies, so they can work at super speed.
Right.
Then we'll invite all AI first startups to come and locate there. So there will be a lot of mentoring help. There'll be a lot of others help. We'll call venture capitalists to come and pitch to all of them regularly. You've seen the T-Hub incubator. It will be a much bigger than that.
Okay.
And it will be all focused on AI.
Okay.
Within 1 year, we hope to have 100, 200, 300 AI first company startups there.
Wonderful.
So it'll be a collection of AI talent. And it'll be a showpiece where people can come and see and say, oh my God, AI is happening, because nobody knows what AI is. It's all hidden, right? They'll all come and see these people working. They will showcase, they will pitch. There'll be talks there. There'll be conferences there. There'll be knowledge sharing there. There'll be R&D there. All the things will happen in one place, because what India requires is physical sign of progress.
Sure.
And I hope Prime Minister Modi will come there one day, like he's going to this place to look at all these companies, and they'll see all this and do sabas to them and promise them some more money to do it. And then all these three wonderful people want to have another AI city or time on a 70-acre property which they have identified. so that there'll be a living, growing city where
Nice.
everything will depend on AI. Because to train AI in a living, growing city is important to understand how people live, work, and entertain themselves.
Sure.
Because that's the next phase. But first, you need to showcase.
Fair.
And Bangalore is the best place.
Could this be a fear of Delhi, or for that matter, generally speaking?
It's not the fear of Delhi.
No. The bit about concentrating resources in Bengaluru, sir, is that the fastest way to build global AI gravity, or
Yes, it
does
is, because
India risk over-centralizing innovation? Could that be the fear?
Look, Bangalore has got 26 lakh people. This city has got the largest number of tech people for any city in the world, man. You should be proud and happy there's something like Bangalore in India.
Okay.
What are you pointing fingers and saying, oh, they'll be concentrating? You can't run it in Kanpur. You can't run it in Calcutta. You can't run it in Jaipur. You can't do it anywhere else. And you want to catch up. This is the place. Do that. I mean, I don't see what is wrong. Bangalore is still in India.
Okay.
I'm sure Prime Minister Modi agrees that Bangalore is in India. He's our Prime Minister.
And I'm pretty sure that he's proud of it as well. Sir.
Our Chief Minister Siddaramaiah may not agree to say what is this AI city and all that, but at least Prime Minister will agree. He understands this very well. And we should have it here. And we will be quick on the draw. We must create volumes and all that. Then slowly it will diffuse everywhere.
Because the infrastructure and the talent is here. That's what you're saying.
Talent is here. Innovation, everything is here. Kickstart it. Then startups can come from any part of India to fund.
Agreed.
We're not saying Bangalore-based startups. We're going to give you capital to any part of India if you meet the bill. So what is the big deal, man?
Agreed.
What are the big
and the fact that it's very simple, sir. If something like this happens, then maybe the other states can borrow a page from this particular book. I, of course, would like to request you.
Babu with nothing there is moving ahead. He's got Google. Now we announced 2 days back, I'm going to have $175 billion investment. Look at Babu. I wish we had Babu in Bangalore to be our chief minister in the age of AI.
True.
We would have been far ahead. Look at what Babu is doing. Look at what our Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is doing.
That's a bold statement,
Not
sir.
talking about AI, and our IT minister is talking about some rubbish about Mangalore and all that. Remember? I mean, his IT minister is bringing down a city called Mangalore, which is very good, growing.
That's beyond Bengaluru. That's the initiative, probably. That's
beyond Bangalore,
maybe because of the infrastructure, Mohandas, sir.
No, you must go work there. You must work, put money to work.
Okay.
They've been talking about it beyond Bangalore for the last 20 years. I know about it. I worked with all ministers here beyond Bangalore for long.
For sure.
To bring IT there. And we want the Karnataka government, if it's, they must say, we'll put 10,000 crores into AI and to Bangalore. In AI, will dominate India in the next 3 to 4 years. We'll announce that. That's what it should do.
Okay.
But instead of that, there's no talk, nothing. Everybody's watching Babu take it away.
Yeah.
Babu has got a cable coming there in Visakhapatnam. He's got Google. He's got Reliance. We can get a cable in Bangalore.
Right.
We should get a cable in Bangalore, have a land there for landing. Then you must have a data center there. Give them whatever they want, low-cost power. Give them land. Give them everything else. And then draw a cable and make Bangalore the landing point. Because we need a direct cable. It helps.
Fair
Why
enough.
can't you do all the think big and do it? We got to think big.
I agree.
Karnataka is Bangalore, the place where you got to think big. 50-60% of our tax in Karnataka is coming from Bangalore and largely from the IT industry. So you got to grow that and create high quality job for a people. Instead of that, they're saying, I'll give 5 kg rice to 80% of what kind of, I don't know, this absurdity, I don't understand at all. The job of a government is to create high quality job for its citizens.
Agreed.
And
I think that's also, I think you've hit the nail on the head.
India.
You've hit the nail on the head, because that also, as a collective consciousness, also tends to have a blot on people's understanding. They tend to get discouraged. But Mohandas, sir, I just have to ask you this. Your final remarks as far as the India AI Impact Summit is concerned, the deep tech fund innovations which have been brought in, the announcement of that, and of course, moving forward, what would you like to say and see India as in, let's say, the year 2035?
Look, the India AI Summit is a great event, 5-day showcase what can happen in India and the potential of India. The whole world is coming here. We're the third largest digital power in the world, and we're making our presence felt. We're answering the stupid criticism of IM and saying we're a second-rate power to show that we are a global power.
Sure.
We are among the top 5 and we intend to remain there and grow. That's very good. Second, it must be followed up by actual money on the ground and fast disbursement, fast action. So the momentum is continued and we see things happening in the next 3, 4, 5 months. Not the usual timid stuff that Delhi has been doing in AI for the last 2 years. We need a big 50,000 crore fund like the PLI and get all these companies to come create give money to funds to create the entire thing. We need an AI city in Bangalore to develop very fast the next 1 year to dominate all that. We need multiple data centers to come up, hypercloud to come up all over the country so that capacity is available. We need funding for our universities in this particular area. All that to be done in the next 8 to 9 months, 12 months.
Okay.
And this must follow. So next year when we have this big AI summit, we can showcase all that. This is what we did 1 year ago. This is what we have done all this. We are very different from here. And the world will respect you.
Sure.
The world will respect you.
Sure.
And this is due to us. And create high quality jobs. Give hope to our young people. Make them dream. And stop as much as possible young people going to the US to do AI work because they don't give them money, you don't have markets for them.
Right.
Help them, handhold them, because these are our future. They are our future. They are our children. They are our young people. They are our entrepreneurs. They're going to make the future for India. And India should work along with AI to make India a $10 trillion economy by 2035.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you so much, Mohandas sir, for all of your insights. It truly has been an honor having you with us. I really hope that the policymakers have heard you out because, ladies and gentlemen, as always, Mr. Mohandas Pai is inimitable. He is honest, he's forthright, and he is somebody who believes that we need to take action and we need to take it yesterday. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Front Page, and as always, thanking Mr. Mohandas Pai again, and we really hope that everything that he has spoken about actually comes to fruition. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM. So